Chris McDermott loves driving his electric vehicle, as long as it's in Quebec.
We're not ready for the transition because the charging infrastructure in certain provinces, Quebec's there, but in certain provinces like Ontario, it's not there.
But it will need to be soon. The federal government is going all in on EVs.
There's no mistaking it. We are at a tipping point.
Ottawa says it has finalized regulations to push manufacturers to make fewer gas guzzlers and more battery-powered motors.
The Government of Canada is helping to ensure we don't get left behind.
The new rules apply to new cars, SUVs, and light trucks, but not used ones. Plug-in gas hybrids will qualify, but the deadline for automakers is strict. In 2026, 1 in 5 vehicles sold in Canada must be electric. In 2030, that's 3 in 5. By 2035, all new stock at dealerships must be electric. But some worry they will be financially out of reach for many.
What we found is that vehicle prices would need to come down by about a third or even half of what they are today in order to be for electric vehicles to be affordable at the very mass market level.
Ottawa and some provincial governments offer purchase incentives. For those that don't, the Environment Minister had a message.
Get on board. That would be my message. I mean, especially in Ontario.
Automakers will need to earn credits to comply with the new rules. That can be done by building charging infrastructure. But the big 3 car makers have some concerns.
There's only 345,000 electric vehicles on the roads today. That is not enough volume to make a charging station a profitable business.
This driver says charging needs to be a political priority.
What needs to be done was what Quebec did starting 10 years ago, was get the charging infrastructure in place.
He says setting EV targets without a reliable way to power them is like putting the cart before the horse. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Electric vehicles are becoming more and more popular in BC, even as new federal rules come in to phase out gas vehicle sales by 2035. About 1 in every 45 people already own a zero-emission vehicle in the Lower Mainland and southern parts of BC, according to the province. But not everyone is ready, due to both price and environmental concerns.
What's the cost for those batteries for electric vehicles? Like, what is the actual environmental cost? I think it's a little short-sighted.
I will never buy an electric because of the charging. You have to wait for charging. You don't know where to charge and it's raining.
Clean Energy Canada says the goal of the federal EV sales standards is to create certainty for vehicle manufacturers and infrastructure providers to plan.
BC's own sales regulation, which is very similar to what the federal government is proposing, their first official target was going to be 10% electric vehicle sales by 2025. So BC achieved that target almost 5 years in advance.
She says the move by the federal government is similar to standards being set in some U.S. states like California. This map from ChargeHub shows charging stations and infrastructure across North America. In BC, there's a large concentration of charging stations in the southern part of the province, but there's still range anxiety in other parts of BC.
People are concerned about how far they can drive on the vehicle, particularly in areas where the weather is cold or lots of rain or snow and other adverse conditions that use up the battery.
Provincial incentives and rebates have helped pave the way for BC residents to buy electric. However, there are fresh concerns due to drought and whether BC will produce enough electricity to power its charging infrastructure.
BC Hydro has been planning for this increase in demand, and with a call for power coming in spring 2024, we know that Site C will be coming online in fall 2024 as the reservoir fills then.
The minister says more chargers will also come online in 2024. Meera Bains, CBC News, Vancouver.